Mate, did we watch a thing this week?
Yeah, we did.
Welcome back to Furiousteember. Thank you for joining us again as we make our way through the Fast and the Furious franchise. We've been sitting here now for, 10 hours?
I don't know, days.
It's nearly 3 p.m. and we're about to get onto the fifth movie, which is Fast 5. How are you feeling about it?
Not good.
Let's get to it then. Mate, we have arrived at peak furiosity.
We really have. Hello, if you're still with us.
Oh, mate, it is 5 in the PM. I don't know if it's... We've been at this for 12 hours now, so I don't know if it's the cabin fever setting in, but that was one of the best movies I have ever seen.
All right, there might be an element of Stockholm Syndrome here.
It's certainly the best movie we've seen today.
It is.
That was
It is.
Incredible. That was so good.
By comparison to what's come recently.
I
enjoyed that. I enjoyed that movie.
That was a good movie.
The first, half hour, I loved.
Oh, man. Wait, so you're saying you didn't love the last hour and a half?
No, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it didn't maintain the rage all the way through.
That was a rocking good time. So still directed by Justin Lim, who did the last two?
This is third now.
And written by Chris Morgan, who I think only started with Fast and Furious, or Fast and Furious 4. And mate, that was a rollicking romp.
How is this the same filmmaker as Tokyo Drift?
I know. His direction has gotten so much better.
It legitimately has. The opening... So the film starts with, firstly, a kick-ass bus crash. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, so we pick up exactly where the last film left off, with Dominic Toretto on the bus, heading to prison, and our heroes breaking him out.
And this action is accompanied by a score.
Yeah, which I think...
I don't know, maybe the last film had a score as well, and we just didn't really notice, but it's certainly the first time I've particularly noticed a score.
It's all been pretty generic hip-hop. There was elements of a score in the first movie.
Yeah, we were like, oh, strings.
One point, yeah. But yeah, this is the first time that we've had what I would call score, definitely.
Yeah. We catch up with, after they've busted Dom out, we then meet up with them again robbing a train.
Yes.
Which is, it's a kick-ass action sequence.
Yeah, man.
And apparently they're now secret agents. They have awesome abilities.
Their skill sets just seem to multiply every film. Like Jordana Brewster, who started off as just a sandwich artist in a subway, effectively. From there she went to medical expert. And then in this movie at one point she's like, I don't even know what she's doing when she's tracking them, driving and telling them where the cops are. How is she seeing that?
Just, whatever the occasion calls for, their abilities morph into that.
Has she hacked a satellite or something that is letting her see? Is it like Google Earth?
I think she hacked Google. And then how far, I don't know exactly how far it is in this movie, but it's amazing when it happens. Enter The Rock.
Oh, we both lost our shit when The Rock turned up.
It is peak Rock. It's amazing.
I don't know if I'm just losing my mind because of how
you are a bit, I'm telling you.
But I said to you, this is simultaneously The Rock at his rockiest and his least rocky, and I don't think you understood what I meant.
I can't imagine where I got confused there.
So this is the best acting I've ever seen The Rock do. I don't think I've ever seen The Rock actually act before. He's usually just The Rock. But in this, I believed he was a cop. I was watching him on screen. I was like, you know what? This isn't Dwayne Johnson. This is L. Hobbs.
Yeah, I don't get
what the
that.
L stands for. And yet at the same time, he's still his, hulking beast of a man that is The Rock.
Yeah, no, I think it's just The Rock.
But we do get a Rock swear, which...
Yes! When The Rock dropped the F-bomb, we were like, oh,
in his very first scene.
Dwayne! Outrageous behaviour.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing this movie has, which is excellent, and it's kind of hilarious that it involves Gal Gadot, and that is an awesome team coming together sequence.
Yes.
It's because it's way more Ocean's 11 than it is Justice League.
That's true.
Gal, I hadn't seen this when I saw the steaming pile that is Justice League. So I've seen Gal be involved in it when it is just all kinds of bad. Little did I know she'd already been a part of it done right.
Yeah.
Because the team coming together in this movie is wicked fun. Despite the fact that the people, like, the characters who are coming back in, it's a really cool moment when they do. And you forget that from the films that these characters are in, you don't care about them.
I know. You know what? Like, when Han came back into this, I was like, I am willing to forgive how terrible Tokyo Drift was just to have that, like, team coming together in this where he's there. And, like, you got Ludacris, you got Tyrese. The whole band is back together.
Ludacris, the former garage owner.
I told you, yeah.
He's now... What does he do now? He's a hacker, isn't he? What is he?
They brought him in because they needed someone who was good with, like, electrical components to help them hack the vault. He's there to open the vault for them.
Obviously, he can do that.
I mean, obviously, if you can build a car, you can open a vault. I've heard that saying a million times.
Famously, we both kind of hit the giggle button when Dom just went full Joker on a pile of money.
We actually stopped at that moment to Google whether this or Dark Knight came out first.
Some Torettos just want to watch the world burn, Billy.
I mean, Toretto is fast and loose with his money, man. He cares so much more about family than he does about money.
He cares about nothing anymore. Like after his girlfriend died, he's off the reservation.
Mate, he's had a new girlfriend.
Unless he sees a nice bit of tail, and then he's like, oh, because now he's forgotten about Gal.
Oh yeah, because Gal.
I mean, they were never a thing, really.
No, but she's now with Han.
Now he's seen a hot Brazilian cop, and he's like, I'm Groot. Yeah. So it was like an hour into this film where we were like, are they going to drive a car at some point? The answer was not for a while yet, because not long after the hour point, they're talking to some guy and like they're going to race for ownership slips or whatever. And it's like, oh, cool, this will be fun. Wrong. We don't see the race.
That is how far the franchise has come, in that the first three movies were so race heavy. Like, you look at Tokyo Drift, that is just 10 long race scenes stitched together. And here, like, the one race scene that happens is cut out.
Until they're all in cop cars and then...
But then that's not even a race. No. They're training. Like, I guess they're driving.
They're still, I mean, it was who can get there first, which is pretty much the definition of a race.
Oh, you mean when they're drag racing the cop cars?
The four of them, yeah.
Yeah. When they bet $1 million on it.
On what they say is a quarter mile, don't they?
They do.
They're like, that's about a quarter mile up there. Let's do that. That race goes for a while.
Well, hang on. So what's a mile in kilometers?
A mile is 1.6 Ks. Okay. So a quarter mile.
So my math 1.6 divided by 4?
Is 400 meters.
Oh, 400 meters? Jesus. I could run that quicker. We could have run it in a time.
Okay, settle down.
Easily, mate. I play a lot of Pokemon Go, and I do a lot of walking. You got to walk 10 kilometers just to hatch an egg.
Yeah?
Yeah. I do that all the time. I just hatched my 500th egg. You don't care what I'm saying?
I don't understand or care. Is this his game where you enslave creatures?
It is,
okay.
Yeah. Can we talk about a line that Tyrese has in this movie? When the team
I think I know where you're going.
When the team has come together and Dominic is telling everyone how much money they get is 11 million. And Tyrese pops out with 11 million. That sounds like an awful lot of vaginal activity to me. What the hell is that about?
I was stunned by that line. Is
he talking about prostitutes, or does he just mean that having money would, like, attract women?
I don't know. It was a creepy-ass, bizarre line.
And I actually wonder, because I did Google this before, and I know that in the first and second one, apparently a lot of the humorous lines were improv. And I do wonder, because if that line was improv, it's even worse. Firstly, that he would say that, and secondly, that they would keep it in. So The Rock has a goatee in this movie.
An awesome one.
An awesome one.
Most people with a goatee look terrible. This is a fact.
I had a goatee for probably like 10 years, and it did not look like The Rock's. That is a luscious goatee. Do you think that was real?
I do.
So you think he can? So do you think he can grow hair?
Oh, please. The Rock can grow hair wherever The Rock wants. If The Rock wants to grow hair on the palms of his hands, The Rock will grow hair there.
Just like look at his palms and boom, like 10 hairs burst
Like
out.
he'd kind of flex hair out. Pause.
like little lizard hairs that he can use to scale buildings.
The Rock so wishes. He didn't need that duct tape in Skyscraper.
Great scene, by the way. although I do have to say the action sequences in this movie were so good.
There's some really well realized sequences in this.
I don't know whether like the budget of this film jumped up from the last ones, but
it had to.
The production on this was so good compared to the earlier ones. Like the practical effects, the digital effects, the cinematography. This was a nice looking movie.
Yeah, Aussie cinematographer.
Really?
Yep.
Who was it?
Can't remember his name, but he did Crocodile Dundee too.
Oh, Jesus. Well, he's come a long way. Because to go from Crocodile Dundee 2 to Fast 5, I don't know. Maybe some people isn't there going, they're both shit. But this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
And it looks cool in kind of a Michael Bay way.
Yeah.
In that it's very flashy in its the lighting and camera and everything. It's very in your face.
Yeah, there was
but
that
it's
one
just
shot,
more enjoyable than Michael Bay.
There was that one shot of The Rock where he was like standing on the roof or something, and there was some stuff going on behind him, and you were like, "Geez, that's a Michael Bay shot."
Yeah, it really was. Every shot of The Rock in this movie is amazing.
I mean, just
when he was chasing Vin Diesel and he jumped through that window, like we almost cheered. It was incredible.
Because Vin Diesel like jumps off the roof like above, and he thinks he's free, and then The Rock bursts out this window behind him. And so we finally answered that age-old question, because obviously, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, but rock beats Diesel for sure.
Now we know.
Even
like I'm not saying it's good. But Paul Walker's a lot better.
He has gotten a lot better. And I don't know if that's actually that he has gotten a lot better or that we're just getting a little bit, because we've now been watching him straight for like 12 hours. I think he was actually pretty good in this movie.
Like, we don't get those moments anywhere, like we were saying, where you could just place him on the rooftop scene in the room and it wouldn't be out of place. He has definitely moved past that.
You know what, though? There's also a lot less of him in this film. Because we've got such a big cast now. We're spending more time with, like, The Rock. Vin Diesel gets more time. We got Wonder Woman. Like, Paul Walker, he's, like, I guess he's still the central character, but he's not, like, we're not seeing him 24/7 anymore. But this is definitely when family really starts to take off.
Oh my.
This is peak family. About 5 times we stopped and looked at each other and just pointed at the screen waiting.
Like, you can sense it.
Yeah,
family's coming.
Yeah, they're about to like toast to family or something. You still have to suspend a lot of disbelief in this movie because there is still some outrageous crap going on.
This is a fact.
In particular, I mean, the scene when they're trying to figure out like the how the vault works, and they send in that RC car with the camera on it, and you sit there going, no matter how close they are, that remote control car is not going to work through a concrete wall.
No, nor the way that they get old mate's handprint. He just touches Gal's like bikini bottom. I don't like. It's not glass. It doesn't leave a handprint that well, I don't think.
I mean, you've done some forensics work, right?
Have I?
Yeah, because I believe that unless... I mean, firstly, I don't know about fingerprints on fabric, but even if that was the case, he was like groping. Those fingerprints would be smudged, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It would need to be like a clean, like on-off, like a high five.
Well, I think we've turned a corner.
I believe we have. An exciting corner. It's
possible we've also just lost our grip on reality a bit. Maybe that film was terrible.
You know what? I don't think so, man. Maybe.
I don't care. Either way, I'm having more fun than I was with Tokyo Drift.
Definitely. We're having more fun. It's the evening, so we're having a drink or two. We got our snacks. I don't
think people need these details, really. Oh, I'm really after 2 drinks. What's it going to be like? What's it going to be like?
Come on.
Also, 5 down, 3 to go. We're like the heavy lifting.
We're definitely past the halfway mark now. We're like definitely past the halfway mark. Before we head on, should we find out what our next rule is?
Shall.
This one comes to us from our very good friend Toffer over at the Master Debaters podcast, which is, I'm trying to do his British accent because it's just like my favourite.
What about that was meant to be British? And what
Master Debaters podcast?
What part of Britain? Britain has like 72 accents.
He's from the Midlands.
Okay.
They are the most popular comedy podcast in the Midlands and the saltiest podcast in the world. I can't. I'm so sorry, Toffer. I'm so sorry.
So offensive.
Let's see what he had for us.
Thanks for reaching out and asking me to help out with this. It's nice to be a part of a professional podcast for a change. So, I've never seen these films, any of them, but I know that they do usually defy logic and they're quite over the top. So, I think you should take a drink every time something happens that defies logic. To be fair, that might happen a lot in these films and I might have just killed you. Soz. So, either that or take a shot or a drink anytime The Rock is bald. Yeah? Enjoy, lads. Peace out.
Anytime something defies logic, like most of the dialogue.
Okay, so do these stack? Like, say something defies, say a car, all four wheels leave the ground and it defies logic. Do we need to double drink it?
I don't know if it's like compound interest or not.
Surely not. If something defies logic that hasn't already broken one of our previous rules, we'll drink.
Okay. All right. Onwards to victory.
You guys, Beth is here. Beth just rocked up.
Heyo.
What are you doing, Beth?
Oh, living my life a quarter mile at a time.
I usually live mine a quarter pounder at a time. So I feel you, girl. I feel you.
How have you guys been going so far?
It's been amazing.
It's been real.
It's been 12 hours now of
mostly garbage.
A lot of garbage.
Because Billy, you hadn't seen them all before this, had you?
I'd only seen the first one and the last two. And Topher's only seen the first one.
You're joking.
Not now. I've seen 5.
What are you doing with your lives?
Soon to be 8. But we just got the fifth one was incredible.
Remind me what happens
It was
in the fifth one?
incredibly improved.
It's the first one with The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock shows
Oh, The Rock's amazing.
And up until that point, you've been watching it thinking Vin Diesel is the hugest man alive. And then The Rock comes in and then it's like two trees just wrestling.
I did say to Billy, like, no wonder Vin got so upset as these films went on, because he looked huge compared to normal people.
I don't know, man. I got to say, looking back, maybe it's just because we're so used to The Rock now. Like, we see him in so many things. Because looking back now, Vin Diesel, I reckon I could take him. He looks kind of small.
I beg
That's
your
what
pardon.
Fast and Furious does. It warps your idea of reality.
Maybe that's the rum and coke talking, because it's just making me, like, I think I can fight everyone like Russell Crowe.
You've been on the angry
Russell Crowe
juice.
actually can fight everybody.
So what do you got for us, Beth?
So I have done up a little bit of a quiz for you guys based on the first 5. So where we're up to in the series for the time being. The quiz is structured. Those who know me know I'm painfully organised.
You're a quiz master like Ross Geller.
If only. The first time I came and I did the Blockers episodes with you guys, I think I had about 7 pages.
Yeah,
of notes.
that was outrageous. And we were sitting there with like barely 5 dot points written down.
So the quiz is structured into 3 different sections, and there's 1 question per movie per section. 15 questions in total, with, in true Ross Geller form, a lightning round at the end.
I hope we get a lightning round.
If there's a tie.
Whoever's winning, just tank at the end.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is to see which one of us has been paying the best attention to the 5 movies we've just watched.
So
I think you're going to win, Toph.
The first section, 1-pointers. Second section, slightly harder, 2-pointers. Third section, harder again.
Can I guess it? Is it 3?
No, it's fucking 5. No, it's totally 3.
Beth swore. She's like The Rock.
Yeah.
Potty mouth Johnson.
I don't think I've ever heard him swear before that movie. He's like, stay the fuck out of my way.
Billy and his rum. 2 drinks. 2 drinks spaced over 5 hours.
He's lost all sense of propriety. All right, so this might have to work on an honour system because I don't have a pen. Oh, never mind.
You're holding one in your hand. How much rum have you had?
Wait, I got started again.
All right, and so what is the grand prize for winning?
Yeah, is there a trophy? Is there a Furious trophy?
Look, I think in keeping with the feeling of the day, it should just be about honour and pride.
Nah, fuck that. I need more than that. You know what is furious?
Loser buys fried chicken.
Loser buys fried chicken. And not just not a piddly amount. I'm talking buckets upon
furious
buckets
amount
of fried chicken. A furious amount of chicken, which we will eat very, very fast. No, probably not. But
oh, yeah.
I do eat everything fast. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. If you don't do things fast, you don't do them.
So are you guys ready? We're going to start with the 1-pointers. I've mixed them up in order because some of them, the answer would be given away if you knew which order the question was in relation to the
Okay. Do we need to buzz in?
If you want. Oh, you could come up with buzzers. What would be your personal buzzers?
I'm going to be a horn honking.
Right. I'm going to be Auga.
Oh, Jesus.
Billy, you didn't want to go with something kind of themed?
Oh, yeah, furious. All right, I'm just going to yell out rock.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Start your engines.
Mine's a Tesla, you can't hear it.
It's silent under 5Ks.
First 1-point question. Who challenges Sean to a race at the end of Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift?
Honk.
Rock.
Topher.
Dominic Toretto.
Damn it.
Question 2. Where do Dom, Mia and Brian go at the beginning of Fast 5?
Honk.
Topher.
Rio.
Can you give me the full name?
Rio de Janeiro.
Correct.
She's a hard quiz master.
I was just going to say Brazil.
I was going to put in an extra one where you get bonus points if you reenact the way that Dom Toretto says this is Brazil, but it seemed too far gone.
Like the Night King at Hard Home. I think that's where he got it from. The Night King, that is. He wants to be Dom.
Maybe we'll get you guys to record it after all the drinks after the next couple of movies and you can put it at an end credit.
That's fine. Billy will be asleep.
Question 3. What year was Fast and Furious, which is number 4, released?
Honk. Rock.
Topher.
2011.
Incorrect.
2009.
Correct.
Yeah, baby. That's how we do.
Why didn't we think better of bringing in something that involves competition with Billy?
We've made a terrible mistake.
I really like fried chicken.
We will go to any lengths. Question 4. Who is Brian working for in the Fast and the Furious?
Honk.
Topher.
Well, he's working for several people. His main employment is the LAPD.
Correct.
Damn it. Is that a 2-pointer?
No. This is the final of the 1-pointers here coming up. What name is Brian using at the start of Too Fast, Too Furious?
Oh, Jesus. That's a 1-point question?
I know. I actually wondered about moving this. This is one of those weird ones where you mix it up.
I'm not going to get it.
I believe he's still going by Brian.
It is a name starting with B. We didn't talk about what happens if none of you get the answers.
Then it's just a pass,
It's just
isn't
nothing.
it?
Yeah.
I don't think we need to overthink it.
Yeah, righto. The correct answer is bullet, but not spelt with an E, spelt with an I.
Oh, yeah, of course it is.
All right, this is the first of the 2-pointers. Here we go. Fast and Furious, which is number 4, was the film debut for which actress?
Honk. Rock.
I think that was Topher.
Gal Gadot.
Correct.
I think he said the name wrong because I think it's Gal Gadot.
I actually heard her pronounce, and I think she does pronounce it Gadot because I thought I was being cultured saying Godot. Question 2. At the house party in The Fast and the Furious, Dom says to Brian, you can have...
Honk.
Oh, no, I know this one too. You got in way too quick.
Topher.
Corona.
Correct.
Fun fact, that was the only movie they made that they weren't paid by Corona for.
Really?
They did all that just for funsies, and then they made a deal with Corona for product placement.
Why did Corona start giving money? They were like, hey, go do this free.
That's true.
Okay, Billy, you're really falling behind here, mate.
He's just quicker at buzzing.
Number 3.
I picked a good buzzer.
You did.
You get out honk really quickly.
Yeah. In The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift,
Ugh.
what does DK stand for?
Honk!
That was you.
That was
Drift
Billy.
King.
Correct.
I think it's Donkey Kong.
We've been through this.
I didn't even think that one was that hard. I just wanted to make one of you say Drift King because I know how much you hated that movie, which is outrageous.
We're going to talk about that after this because
Yeah,
you are so wrong.
Question 3. What is the lowest rated movie in the franchise according to...
Honk. Too Fast, Too Furious.
Correct. Okay, final of the 2-point questions. Keeping guesses between 100 and 400 and rounding up or down to the nearest 50.
Jesus, there's math involved now.
How many cars were destroyed during the production of Fast 5?
Rock. Only because it's a guess anyway. I'm going to say 250.
That's right.
Yeah!
The actual number, according to IMDb, was 260.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
That is a lot of... So that's not in the franchise, just in Fast 5.
Yes, yep.
Holy crap.
That is a stunning number.
That is. You know, it would all be that sequence where they're dragging the vault and just crushing cars left and right.
Plus that period where you'd gone to the bathroom, there was actually a pretty big car chase through the streets.
I famously can't
lasted
hold
20
my
minutes.
liquid.
All right. The 3-pointers are genuinely difficult. They are all car-based
Oh,
questions.
shit.
I don't have much confidence in either of you, actually, but let's see what
Can I
happens.
just ask how many points ahead is he at the moment?
He's on 9, you're on 5. Righto, here we go. What car does Dom have in his garage in The Fast and the Furious?
Guessing we need more than the colour.
Rock. Only because I remember them talking about this model car a lot, and I'm sure this is wrong. Is it a Honda Civic?
Clearly not. You should lose points.
I don't remember what it looks like, but how many times did they talk about Honda Civics in The Fast and the Furious? Because I remember saying to you, is that like a common drag racing car?
Billy's
It's,
disqualified.
All right, so it's a big old muscle car.
Correct.
It's a... Is it a Ford?
No.
Okay, well, wow.
The correct answer is Dodge Charger.
That's what I meant to say when I said Honda Civic.
Yeah, they're totally the same. Question 2. What car does Brian drive in Too Fast, Too Furious?
Honk.
Topher.
He has a Nissan GT.
He does. Correct. Full name is Nissan Skyline GTR, but that's fine. We'll take it. Okay, Billy, this is looking bad for you, mate.
All right, it's do or die, Billy. You need every question.
Yes, I do. Can I propose that we go to lightning round even if it's not a draw?
We could do lightning round. We could bump the lightning round to,
Is the person
point.
leading? No.
Well, we'll talk when we get there.
let's see where we're sitting. Billy's not going to get any points in the next two questions anyway. Question number 3 of the 3-pointers. What car does Sean drive in the final race in the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift?
Rock.
Billy.
A really, really fast car.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
factual. Is Sean the main character in Tokyo
Yes.
Drift?
Yes.
I didn't even know his name.
You pack of haters.
Oh,
Oh, you better not know this.
Topher.
it's a Mitsubishi Evo.
It is not. I'm going to give you a clue, and if anyone can get it based on the clue, you still get the 3 points.
Okay.
It is the same car that eludes Nicolas Cage's character. Topher.
A Shelby.
Correct.
Oh, that is so unfair.
You wouldn't be saying that if you got the points.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Let's ride!
Actually, I was going to offer more bonus points if you could give the name of the car.
There's
in that,
Eleanor.
But I'm not yet. All right. Question 4. What car reappears in Fast and Furious, having previously been driven by Dom after the... Topher.
The Charger.
Incorrect.
Ah.
All right, Billy, let me finish. I'll finish the question. This is... You can take your time.
Okay.
I'm going to repeat it. What car reappears in Fast and Furious, having previously been driven by Dom after the end credits of the original The Fast and the Furious?
I don't think we knew that there was a post-credit scene.
We certainly didn't watch it.
We've been stopping as soon as the credits come up.
That's where he escapes to Mexico.
Oh, I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Oh, dear Lord.
Mate,
These guys
12
cannot be
hours.
left.
We've been on a time budget. What's a time budget called? The schedule. Oh man, we've been in here a long time.
Too long.
I feel like the audience is sitting out there going, please turn this over. No one is getting this.
I'm gonna say that it was a
Corolla.
Ferrari.
I don't think there's ever been a Ferrari in any of these movies, but
There is.
There is.
In the first one, they drag a Ferrari.
They sure do.
brilliant. Not this car.
Why wasn't that a question?
The answer is Chevrolet Chevelle. I was so close. I knew that was going to be your next guess. Final question in the 3-pointers. In Fast 5, which
we literally
car
just
holds
watched
the
this.
computer chip?
Rock. It's the one that's on the train.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
What's the question, Beth?
In Fast 5, what car holds the computer chip?
The blue and white one.
That's on the train.
It's previously incorrectly been given as an answer during this.
Honda Civic.
No. No, just never use that as anything ever.
Is it an Evo?
It's not.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
so many wrong answers.
It's a Ford GT40.
You said
All right,
that
so
one.
at the end of the standard rounds,
Otherwise known as the game.
Billy's on 5 points. Topher is on 15.
I mean, how many lightning round questions do you have?
There's only 3.
Okay, so let's make them all 10-pointers.
I'm not agreeing to this.
Now, these ones are actually multiple choice. So, I think what would happen is the 2 contestants get a piece of paper, they write down which one they have, they show it to me, and then I will adjudicate.
All right, so Topher, you've clearly won. But I think we should do the lightning round anyway, just so that Beth's writing of questions hasn't been wasted.
Happy to do it.
Yeah, I really should have been doing other shit.
And you can
with my day.
there's still a lot of respect to be won, Billy.
Yeah, okay. All right, this is the respect round. So you've already won the chicken, but I can win the respect,
Okay.
which I don't get a lot of respect, so it would be nice.
And you do get
to
a lot
win.
of chicken.
I do get a lot of chicken. So.
Righto, so for the lightning round, which we've established is purely for respect after the chicken has been won,
And honour.
Yeah, respect and honour.
and for the family. Yep. Question 1. Who was considered for the role of Brian before Paul Walker was cast? A. Christian Bale. B. Josh Hartnett. C. Ben Affleck. Okay, the answers are in. They've both gone with B. Josh Hartnett. They are both as incorrect as they were for the majority of the 3-pointers. The answer is, in fact, Christian Bale.
Really?
Wow.
Brian with a lisp. Just imagine it.
Who would we have gotten for Batman? Anyway, question 2. Who was the role of Mia originally written for? A. Eliza Dushku. B. Alyssa Milano. C. Amy Smart. Okay. Billy has gone with Alyssa Milano. Topher has gone with Alyssa Milano. They are both incorrect. The correct answer is Eliza Dushku.
Wow.
Wouldn't she have been great? She's such a
No, she would have been
badass.
terrible as Mia, because Mia's not badass at all.
Yeah, but imagine what Mia could have been.
But she would have had to have been written totally differently.
Yeah, but I think I'd believe it more now that Mia can do anything.
Well, that's true. She is superpowered.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that when they started filming these, neither she nor... Who plays Letty again?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, neither of those two actually had driver's licenses. Terrifying. The final question of the lightning round. Who did Universal originally want cast for the role of Dom Toretto? A. Josh Duhamel. B. Timothy Olyphant. C. Mark Wahlberg. Billy has gone with Timothy Olyphant. Topher has gone with Timothy Olyphant. They're both correct.
Hey! I respect and
late
honour
than
you.
never.
I respect and honour you, Billy.
It is a draw, and I'm very happy with that.
And Mark Wahlberg was a smoky because he was actually considered for the role of Brian before alongside Christian Bale. And interestingly, Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem.
That actually doesn't surprise me, and I could see that working a lot better than Paul Walker has worked, to be honest.
All right, so that brings us to the end. I didn't mark the rounds from the lightning round because they were pretty abysmal.
It was 1-1.
Not hard to mark.
So what's next? You guys are about to watch. What's the name of number 6, sorry.
Well, the names are all over the place. 6
Yeah.
is... I believe 6 is just
Fate
Fast
of
and the
the
Furious.
Furious?
No, it's just Fast and Furious 6.
Of course.
Then we go to Furious 7, and then Fate of the Furious is the 8th one.
Oh, anyway. All right, well, we've got a time budget to keep.
We sure do. Before we check it out, should we listen to another drinking rule?
Let's do.
This one comes to us from our good friend Chris over at the More Gooder Than podcast, and let's hear what he has to say.
You wanted drinking games from people that love you and you love, so here you go. I want you to, every time that someone in the franchise says the word family, not only do I want you to take a swig of what's ever in front of you, I want you to look at each other and I want you to contemplate the meaning of family. Is family people that you're born into? You know, is it something you're born into? Or is family the people that you choose to have around you? Or is it a little bit of both? And then, you know, take a swig of what's ever in front of you. So good luck. God bless you.
Wow, we are at peak family.
Yes.
Guys, I feel like you should have Chris as part of your family. He seems like a gentleman and a scholar.
He's a good bloke. All right, should we get down to Fast and Furious 6?
Oh.
Are you going to join us, Beth?
Yeah, sure, I'll join you for this one. I'll
Sweet.
stick around.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're 6 down.
That was, I feel like we dropped.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like, you know, the oversaturation setting in or the rum and cokes or the excessive amount of chicken, but I'm feeling a lull.
It's hard to tell what is Furious Fever and what is quality of the film at this point.
Like, there were still parts of it I enjoyed.
There was genuine enjoyment there. There absolutely was. But this was much more just generic action flick than a bunch of 5, which was like, this is amazing.
I mean, we're still like firmly in soap opera territory now, though. We even like the entire credit sequence was basically previously on
We
Fast and
did.
Furious.
We got previously on Fast and Furious.
And they spoiled it a little by including Michelle Rodriguez in the.
Yeah, her name comes up at the beginning. You're like, oh, okay.
That's always been the worst thing about TV show credits is when they, you know, put a name like that in there and you're like, oh, that's a shame.
So, Michelle Rodriguez not the only thing that makes a triumphant return in this film.
Harpoons?
Harpoons and Nos,
Oh, yeah.
both of them back
In furious
and
amounts.
infused in one thing. Yes. There's the Nos harpoon.
It's like we started with harpoons, then we had the electrified harpoons, and now they've evolved. It's like a 3-stage Pokemon.
Couldn't tell you what they did with them.
Well, they used it once, didn't they?
Yeah, well, someone shot one into a wall at one point.
It's used to destroy the tank and used to destroy the flaps.
We also, was it the NOS harpoon that was used to shoot bad cop lady
not Ronda
out of
Rousey.
plane? Yeah.
Oh, was that the harpoon?
It was a harpoon.
It was a harpoon of some
I
description.
don't
I
know
don't
if it
think
was
it
the
was the
NOS
NOS
harpoon.
Whether it knew the fury of the Nos, I'm not sure.
Great
So-
moment, though.
Okay, someone's going to have to tell me. Is the film we just watched the one where they were in London for a bunch of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I know, everything is blended
everything
together.
has just blended together.
I don't remember when they were in Spain.
They were in Spain. They're in Spain twice in this movie. At the beginning, and then they follow...
Hang on. And is Spain where they went at the end of the last movie?
Yeah.
It is?
Look,
So
it's been a
is-
long time since I saw 5, but I'm pretty sure.
Is Spain the country that has no extradition?
Yep.
Well, they list a bunch of countries that have no extradition.
I don't remember them listing Spain, but then Spain.
Yeah, I don't
where
think
they go.
when they actually listed countries that were non-extradition, I don't think they mentioned Spain.
Me neither.
But I don't know. I just don't know. Like, if anyone asked me what the plot was of a film that we finished 10 minutes ago, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I like at this point.
And part of that's the madness. Part of that's the Furious Fever. Part of that's the fact that that film didn't. There wasn't a heap going on plot-wise.
No.
It was just pitting the team against their Seinfeld
Like the
style,
Bizarro
the Bizarro team.
Yeah. All I remember is that they were looking for Letty, and no, actually they weren't
not looking for
They
Letty.
weren't looking for her at first, were they?
No, The Rock just turned up with a photo.
Let's play a game. Who's a worse cop?
Oh,
Ryan or The Rock? Because they should both lose their fucking jobs. Man.
shocking.
They are both terrible police officers.
Like, throughout this series, law enforcement,
It's not going to hit.
just terrible.
Okay, so The Rock, for some reason, he's after Shaw, who's the British baddie,
Yep.
who played by Luke Evans.
Luke Evans,
Yeah.
Bard himself from The Hobbit.
he decides, for some reason, I don't know whether I missed something or if it's just the Furiosity getting to me, he decides to recruit Toretto and his family to help him take down
Because
Shaw.
there's only one crew on the world.
Because
hang on,
as if you,
what's
if you,
the great line?
and it actually was a great line.
This was the
he
best
says that
line.
if you want to catch wolves, you need wolves.
Let's
go hunting.
And then he goes and gets
God.
Toretto's crew.
Bless you, Dwayne Johnson. It was amazing.
He's still by far the best part of like this current franchise. Like what we've seen so far. The Rock is where it's at.
Absolutely.
I was still under the impression that Bruce Willis's crew from Armageddon was the best crew on the planet. You know, when you need to stop the world from, falling
On the
subject
planet.
to
On the planet,
Sure,
these guys are the
yes,
best crew.
okay, yeah.
Off the planet,
Right.
it's Steve Buscemi shooting up an asteroid.
Imagine
Yeah.
the forces combined.
There's got to be a movie in that.
Dude, that would be amazing. Furious X. It's like Jason in space, but it's Toretto.
Unfair to compare anything to Jason in Space.
I know Jason in space.
That
is
is
your
a
favorite of the
masterpiece.
Jason franchise.
It is a masterpiece. All right, focus.
There's not much to focus on with this movie, to be honest.
Don't let the furious madness take you, Billy. Stay on track.
It's no Tokyo
Stay on
Drift.
track, like that plane on the runway
Oh my
that goes
God.
for.
I mean, we
So
should.
the climax of this film, they're trying to stop a plane from taking off.
Yeah,
The
by
plane-
shooting it in the flaps. That's the plan.
That is the plan. The plane is on a runway which is at least 15 kilometers long.
It's got to be longer than. I mean, how fast does
I mean,
a plane
at least.
go?
I mean, at least.
I mean, a plane would be going at least 100 kilometers per hour.
But it's not. It doesn't really get to takeoff speed because it's got cars hanging off. Let's not get too bogged down in the math.
Okay.
It's a long runway.
All right. But if two
It's a
trains
ridiculous.
traveling,
It's a ridiculously long runway.
yeah. Does the plane at any point turn around, or is it just going straight the whole time?
Gun barrel straight.
It's going straight. And
That's
at
a
no
long
point do the
runway.
pilots either attempt to take off or attempt to stop the plane.
I mean, we should Google what the longest runway in the world is,
I'm guessing.
and whether or not it's in Spain.
Well, they were in Spain at this point.
Well, I think we established they were.
I don't know what happened in this movie.
Beth, you need to tell us. Were they in Spain?
Yeah, they were in Spain.
Okay.
They're in Spain.
You see, because
Okay, 'cause I thought they were. I thought
hit.
I thought they were at a British
Well, they were in
armed
Britain.
forces base at this point.
They were in Britain for some of it.
No one has any fucking idea what happened in this movie.
No. So the whole London in general, that whole section of this film, just nothing.
Even the stuff that happens in the States doesn't make any sense or bear any impact at all on
None.
the movie. So Paul Walker's character, Brian, goes back to the States to find out some piece of crucial information
Well, his
from...
plan is to get himself arrested, isn't it?
Well, yeah, he's got to get himself arrested to get into the jail, to get the information from the drug lord they fought in the fourth movie. And the critical piece of information that he's going to risk his life and potential lifelong imprisonment for is to discover whether or not it was, quote unquote, his fault that Letty got shot or got amnesia or got caught at the end, or at the beginning of the fourth movie.
And then when he comes back with this information, Dom's like, "No, mate, don't worry about it."
He's
Don't even tell me.
That
Don't even
information
tell me."
is for you.
So-
Yeah.
That was for nothing.
He's basically just live your truth, O'Connor. It's up to you now.
And we're now into the long films too. Like a lot of this could have been cut. Like the first 4 movies were all an hour 45, and then the last 4 movies are all 2 hours 10. This could have been an hour 45.
There are scenes missing, though, for mine. I mean, there is a point at which Shaw says to Letty, when I found you in the hospital ward, you were blah, 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 X, Y, Z. And I'm thinking, why is this creeper hanging around hospital wards, presumably looking for hot chicks with amnesia who looks like they can drive stick? I mean, there is just no... I would have liked to have seen a little bit more... explored around how that
why he
particular
was in the
union
hospital ward.
happened.
Or none.
Yeah, just don't mention
Like,
it.
if it's going to be completely... what do you mean you were just hanging around the hospital doing this stuff? Just don't visit that station at all. One thing we find out in this movie, Dominic Toretto is the T-1000.
Oh, fuck oath he is. How many... He's like Homer Simpson. Where they count up how many times Homer Simpson should have died, and it was like 237 times or something? Dominic Toretto is insane.
But he actually emerges from the flames.
does,
Like, I
yeah.
mean, they ripped off the shot.
He's not even crawling or like, he's just like straight up walking out like a normal bloke.
Yeah.
Like he's out for his morning jog. Are his clothes even burned off? I don't remember.
I don't think they were.
They weren't.
That's insane.
Remember?
And for the amount that things in these, well, all these films, the amount of times that you should die and don't, are we willing to say that Luke Evans is dead?
That's a good question.
I didn't see a
No.
body. Like
No.
something happened to him which obviously kills you. He falls out of a fucking plane.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen a body.
Unless you see a body, it didn't happen.
Were you surprised that we didn't get Jason Statham by this point?
Yeah, I thought we'd have Statham at this point. My understanding of the franchise was that Statham was like a mainstay by where we're now up to. So I figured that in film 6, surely
Yeah.
Statham is on
Well, I'm
the scene.
sure he's in the last two. And my understanding is that the spin-off with The Rock is basically Rock v. Statham. No, wait, that can't be right because Idris Elba's been cast.
There's a spin-off?
Yeah.
Yeah. With The Rock, it's called Hobbs and Shaw.
I'm just learning this information.
Wait, isn't Shaw Luke Evans?
Oh, see, you've
Spoiler,
stumbled
I've
upon
spoiled something.
Yeah. Have a think about it.
Does Statham take his mask off, Tom
His
Cruise style?
Yeah, he unzips himself like an alien.
And he is barred.
Wow. Or Jason Statham is just the less attractive brother of Luke Evans. Is the more likely scenario. But I'm not going with it though.
You're going with the unzip the alien suit.
I'm going with Shaw is actually Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible.
So did anyone have moments they actually enjoyed from this movie?
I enjoyed the entire last 45-minute sequence on like the
single runway.
The single runway. That entire sequence was king for me. That was we got some amazing shots there. We got the insane CGI Vin Diesel leaping like Matrix style.
Flying headbutt. That was amazing.
And that was clearly not Diesel. Like it was so his face
Neo.
was all smooth. Just like leapt at him.
Yeah, so the final action sequence is fun. I mean, it's stupid, but it's fun. The action sequence before that on the highways, that's
You could lose that.
yeah, that one's not great. But what do we like? Yeah, I mean, the best bit of the film we've already touched on. It's The Rock saying, "Let's go hunting."
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Previous to that, though, he does also say you can't pick up Shaw like you'd pick up your groceries. I quite enjoyed that. I don't know what people you do pick up like their groceries, but I enjoyed the visual.
I mean, any good lines come out of The Rock. Like, at one point as well, doesn't he say something about, like, appearing like thunder and disappearing like smoke? And you're sitting there going, those two things aren't correlated.
I don't know what it means, Rock, but I like it.
And you only had to wait, I reckon, a minute in to when he first appears to get your first serious nose flare. Never disappointed on that front.
He still had his goatee, but it wasn't as luscious.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure that in the fifth movie, it was a fake goatee.
No.
This is real.
No.
No, I think you're wrong, mate. I don't think he's growing hair as easily as
You doubt?
easily as you say.
You doubt Dwayne Johnson?
I do.
Does anyone ever
I said good day, sir.
Another potential crossover I saw with this movie, well, not really, it reminded me of Austin Powers style spoofs, in which there's a scene where Shaw's, gang of misfits, they're trying to figure out who Toretto and his crew are. So they throw out, these plastic sleeves full of information and folders with the photos and the names and the bloody, DNA types of Toretto and his crew, which seems to happen. This is a thing that happens a lot in action movies. Normally it's the cops, so it seems like it's probably legit. We all know that the cops and national security agencies know everything about us and are listening all the time. Hey, guys. But
as we put our voices out on the internet week after week, I'm sure the NSA have better things to listen to than our podcast.
Bullshit.
how dare you?
Like, oh man, you got to listen to this one, agent. One of them really liked Skyscraper and the other one didn't.
It was terrible. Anyway. But these folders, when they're actually created by random henchmen, of the evil overlords, how do these guys, who are the research assistants working for these guys? Like, who does Shaw have sitting there drafting up these dossiers on Toretto and his crew? Like, how do they find them via some kind of black market LinkedIn? And if they do, then cops should be targeting these markets. Like, these guys have mad skills, and I feel like maybe it's an untapped resource.
You know that Toretto is like, he's on Instagram
He's all over the
24/7. He's like, look at my family.
Everything's hashtag.
Hashtag family.
Everything is hashtag family.
Hashtag blessed. Just like taking pictures of his food.
Can I tell you another one of my favourite bits of this movie? Any time that the lurking Boona suburban Beth comes out, I love. Because there's people that have known Beth for a while who don't know that this exists. That a car will get downshifted and boom, and Beth's like, fuck yeah.
There was limited opportunity for that, though, because in 50% of the cars driven in this movie, they're Tiptronic.
You are the last person I would have expected to be like a bad car groupie.
I'm always dangerous on the road after I've watched a Fast and Furious movie. Like, if they should clear the roads on my drive home tonight. I mean, my main beef, actually, on a related note, with the movies as they progress, is that they become kind of like Jurassic Park, becomes less about the dinosaurs the more you go on, and the more these movies go on, they become less and less about the cars.
I'm alright with that, though, because Tokyo Drift, which is the one that is most about the cars, is the one that can suck the most dicks. I can't listen to you guys talk about it. The first movie, the Fast and the Furious, with the "thes" in it.
Yes, to distinguish it. Like, for me, that movie is straight up 7 out of 10. It is so entertaining. I'll be interested to see whether or not your ratings go up or down for Too Fast, Too Furious and Tokyo Drift.
This franchise has been all over the show. There's no consistent curve to this.
I'm with Beth, though. I would like to see the cars be a bit more central to
You'd prefer more of the cars and less of the Rock saying stuff.
I want the Rock
hunting.
Rock in a car or Rock crushing a car. Like, I'm happy for the Rock to be there.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's still called Fast and Furious. I think there should be cars.
When I was researching for the quiz today, I read something, I don't know, I didn't see it anywhere else, I don't know if I can really confirm its veracity, but there was something that said all the cars in the first movie had roll cages, except for the one that Vin Diesel drove, they had to remove it because his body wouldn't fit inside the car with the roll cage inside. That's what you want to see.
I don't know. I feel like you'd have the same problem with me in a car, and I don't think that's what people want to see. The Fat and the Furious. Just me sitting at the drive-through line be like, where is my burger?
Sobbing into a thick shake.
As I am known
because you've already been to one drive-through.
I told you that in confidence.
I forgot it was true.
Last week, I went to KFC. And then I went and got
Okay.
We haven't even started the drinking game yet. What is happening to us?
Okay.
It's been too long.
Okay, we've been in this room for too long. I don't think there's enough oxygen in here.
It is. All right. Are we... Wait. I know that we're nearly done, but we haven't even mentioned that Wonder Woman died, guys.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
Did anybody see that coming?
I dug that scene, that shot, that little sequence. It was...
Where she kind of just...
Yeah, it was good. It was tough.
tough.
And it was cool because she fucking killed someone.
Yeah.
And she saved Han, who I love. Have you guys mentioned anything about Tyrese in the previous reviews?
Yeah, we mentioned him.
I mean,
I liked him at first, and then, man...
How has he not been written out?
He should go.
It's just like half sex pest, half wit.
He's bringing nothing.
And eats with his mouth open. Honestly, it's just a trifecta.
He's bringing nothing.
He is adding nothing. He's like... He seems to be less and less like part of the crew as well, but they're for some reason still keeping him around. Like, what is he there for at this point?
Yeah, he has no special skill other than being an irrit.
Yep.
And at least in the fifth one, they use him for that. In this one, he's just kind of there.
If someone was going to die, I think we could have kept Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's gone on to bigger and better things. She probably asked to be killed. And now Han's going to go back to Tokyo and...
We know how that ends.
Not good.
Not good.
All right, we haven't rated, what's the fifth film called?
Fast Five.
Fast Five.
The naming is so all over the place.
A rating for Fast Five, Billy.
Fast Five, I'm going with an 8.
Whoa!
I don't know if it's the cabin fever or that I'm feeling jolly from the chicken, but that gets an 8 from me.
All right. There were parts of Fast Five that I really
Five
loved.
is the highlight so far.
Like like I said, the first half hour of Fast Five, fantastic. I didn't think it maintained the rage for the whole thing. Still enjoyed it. 6 out of 10.
What are we doing for Fast and Furious 6?
4.
Yeah, it dropped for me. I'm going a 5.
I was going to go a 3, but maybe I'll bump it. Maybe I'll bump it to a 4.
All right. Well, it's 9 at night, so I guess we better crack on because at this stage we'll be
still
here till 2 a.m.
Yeah, we've still got... Oh, Jesus.
And we're
I'm tapping out at this point. I can't.
I figured. I mean, you got to drive. You're heading to like London, aren't you?
You can reshoot
actually-
some of this film.
I might take the other movies to watch on the plane.
You should do that.
I'll be terrified the whole time someone's going to shoot me
think-
with
Tell
a
us how long the runway is.
I think you mean you'll obtain them legally to watch on the plane.
Yeah, but like that, sir.
Thank you, NSA.
I don't think you need to. Don't cut that out. That's just a given. I'll take them to watch on the plane. Yeah.
The DVDs.
Yes.
All right. Back to it.
Yeah.
Shall we hear another?
Let's hear
rule?
another one. This comes to us from our good
Because we're about
friends.
to hook into the booze.
I mean, as you can tell, we've had a little, but not much.
It's been more. I think it's more lack of oxygen than alcohol.
Lack of oxygen, a lot of fried chicken. Man, I really feel sick. I don't know how I'm going to go drink.
You look peaky.
All right, this one comes to us from our friends Daniel and Dean over at the IMDb Journey podcast.
Hey, Billy and Topher.
We salute you guys for
What you were doing.
tackling a big 8-movie marathon here. I definitely support what you're doing here. It sounds like a lot of fun, and definitely right now when you're doing a drinking game for the last 2. Now, we had a little discussion about what rule we would add to this. There were the obvious ones, like, every time they say the word family, or anything to do with cars, but we decided to go with every time Vin Diesel incoherently mumbles. All right, you're going to have a drink. Every time you look at him and go,
What did he say?
What did you just say?
Did he say something?
You're slamming a drink, boys.
Do it.
All right. Good luck with the drinking game, guys. Enjoy the last 2 movies.
Have fun, fellas.
See ya.
You know what I like about that rule? Is that anytime Vin Diesel has a line, it's like contractually obligated that the camera just stays on him for 10 seconds before he speaks.
So you
it's
can lip
like,
read.
it's like, oh, is this going to be a drink? Is this going to be a drink? Yep, don't know what he said.
The mumbling to me brought to mind how good would Tom Hardy be as Dom Toretto?
Oh, wow.
That's so funny because almost every time no, wait. It's The Rock, isn't it, that you've been doing Bane voice for?
You really adopted the Fury. I was born to it.
I would love to see Vin Diesel as Bane, man.
I was wondering what would break first. Your manifold or your suspension?
Do it.
All right. Well, I guess we should get back to it.
Yes, onwards to victory.
Catch us.
Bye, all. I'm eating a minty. That was dumb.
That was a poor choice.